Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying for Beginners. Today we're going to tie Joe's hare's ear. This fly was designed by a good friend of mine, Joe Corey, and is a very simple and very effective nymph pattern. The hook I have in a vise is a 2 extra long nymph hook. This is a size 14, and I have a 2.3mm bead on there. I'm going to put a little bit of extra weight on there. Got 10,000 sled wire. Just going to start it about in the middle and run that forward. I don't know, a dozen wraps or so. Push that up into the bead and break off the excess. I'm just using some 8/0 thread here, cream. You're not going to really see the thread, so it doesn't really matter which color you use. Going to start that behind the lead wraps and secure the lead wraps. When you start behind the lead wraps, you want to kind of push the lead wraps forward with your thread. Keep that thread at a 45-degree angle. And we're going to bring that down to where it would hang at the barb of the hook. Then you could go ahead and break that off. Starting with a tail, and for the tail I'm going to use a pheasant tail. You can see I used a lot off this one, and this was a pheasant tail side, but you can see this different color. These are much stiffer than this side. So I'm just going to take a bunch of them. We're going to tie that tail in. We want that tail to be just about maybe 3/4. Maybe you could get away with the length of the hook shank. We're going to go ahead and tie them on. And secure them, and you can just break them right off. Going to bring our thread back. I'm not going all the way back just yet. For our rib, we're going to use pearl crystal flash, a single strand of pearl crystal flash. And like Joe said, it has to be pearl. He's tried every other color, and pearl is the most effective. We're going to tie this in and bring that back right to the rear there. Let that hang out of the way. Before I dub the body, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of 100% beeswax on my thread. And this beeswax you can use as a chapstick if you want. This is not a chapstick. Then we're going to take our hare's ear, and this comes from Joe Corey also. This is his own blend of hare's ear. And you can get this by going to his website. And we're going to this dubbing blend, it's not as dry as your normal hare's ear. It's got, I can tell it's got some nice moisture in there. It's not really dry. It's chopped up nice and fine, but okay, I'm going to take that much and I'm going to wrap that on. I'm going to go ahead and put some more on there. One thing we don't need to skimp on the dubbing. You don't want to put it on real thick all at once. I always say you can always add more like I'm doing here. And we're going to bring that back. Now we're going to take the rib, our single strand of Krystal Flash, Pearl Krystal Flash, and I'm going to counter wrap that, being the opposite direction that I wrap the dubbing. We're going to make these wraps a little bit tighter. We're not going to palmer them with wide spaces. And we're going to bring that right up to the top. And we're going to tie that off. And I'm going to go ahead and trim away the excess. You can tell I was pulling it because I broke it a couple times. Now I'm just going to put a real small amount of dubbing on there. Just enough to hide our whip finish. Get a couple of wraps and then take that whip finish. And that will hide all of the thread. I'm going to pull that tight and remove the thread. Now we're going to take our needle and we're going to pick it out in between the wraps, in between our rib, and we're going to pick it out on the sides. And here we have Joe's hare's ear. Hope that you learned something from this video. Hope that you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends. Please visit my sponsors. Leave comments, questions, suggestions, and most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.